Hi everyone, this is Dave with Traffic Capture, and we're excited to introduce the latest version of a program we've been running for the past 6 years. This version is called Rank Omega, and this is a very powerful 5-point system. Okay, so Rank Omega is the only SEO and ranking service you're going to need. And it starts with the concept of high conversion templates and it goes much, much further. So I'd like to walk into that and show you through this massive 5-point package. And this is great information for you to take home no matter what you do with us in the future, because the information itself will help you understand how to evaluate your website, your traffic, your rank a lot better than most people know how to do now. So if you're not experts at the game, if you're not getting all the traffic you want from your website, let's step into this. If you're not getting all the sales you want from your website, the sales inquiries that you like, let's step into this and take a look. So first, we start with the concept of building a high conversion template for you. And I'm going to show you through some real quick. And the purpose of a high conversion template is that it tends to draw clicks. Okay. One thing you may know about ranking on Google is it's extremely important when somebody lands on your site that they don't just read the front page and then maybe go, but they tend to click at least a little further. We're trying to get them to do a little more exploring, study a little more what you have to offer, lay things out in a way that they can find where they belong in that picture very, very quickly. Okay, so that they can click a little further into your site. Google prizes that. It prizes how many pages the average person views on your site before they leave. So one thing we have to do is outperform your competitors by getting the average visitor to look at more pages on your site than they would tend to look at on your competitors' sites. Now let me explain why by showing you an example, okay? And I'm going to give you a little test here that's going to be this. I'm about to open a pest control website and I want to see how long does it take you to realize whether you're in the right place. If you work for, let's say, a healthcare facility, okay? So let's say you're working for a healthcare facility and somebody saw a mouse run through the hallway and you were sent on the prowl to go find a local pest removal company or a pest control company and one that works with healthcare facilities, okay? So you're going on the search and you land on, let's say you land on this website. Here's my question. Without scrolling down, without looking down below, can you figure out whether this is probably the right place for you? How quickly, how many seconds does it take you to realize that yes, they do healthcare facility work? Well, shouldn't be too many questions because when you land here wondering if they do healthcare facility work, you start glancing around. Some of the things you're bound to see are obvious. The logo helps back up the fact that this is the kind of people they are. Here's the phone number. You can reach them anytime now, open 24 hours a day, right? That's great. That's good for emergencies. So you immediately realize that they can handle you anytime you need them. Here you see the top level menu. That's very simple to navigate and find, right? Now, two major things are happening here right in front of your face besides all that. So first, we've done the point of making it clear that you can reach these guys and how to do it right up front. Okay, but what beyond that? We have 6 image boxes here. There are 4 across the bottom and 2 on the side. And what do? They label the different sub-markets that tend to be searching in the first place. So we have, by knowing our industry, figured out who our submarkets are. And that might be residential, for example. And if you get a lot of that, then you may as well make that front and center and obvious. Okay. All right. And you have commercial. Now that's very good. That lays these two out wonderfully. Okay. Now what do you have down below? There you go. You can tell, and you probably found within seconds, that they do work for educational facilities, healthcare facilities, hotels, motels, bed and breakfast, manufacturing facilities. So if you were here from a hotel, you can realize that this is the section you want to click on for the message that's meant for you. And yes, these pages, if I do click, talk specifically in terms of how do you choose the most effective control company and for hospitality and how does that affect you? And that is going to be a different message than for a healthcare facility. In the case of a healthcare facility, you should be concerned about disease carrying ants and so forth. So yeah, they are talking directly to you and therefore getting your trust, right? Getting your attention, your interest, and your trust. educational facilities. We're talking about kids in school. And so the message is going to be different, right? And so what are we doing? We are using high conversion techniques to get people to click further and invest further in reading about you. Now, the whole time that this is happening, the whole time that we're figuring out who we are, what do we have up here? This banner slider backs up who you are and what you do. Safer choice solutions. Harsh chemicals are dangerous. Okay, let me go back to it. Harsh chemicals are dangerous, which is why we don't use them. Safe solutions do work. Learn more. And it gives you a link to learn more right then and there. So, do you see how that works? This is backing you up. Don't worry, we won't let them bug you anymore. The whole time that you're finding your place. Okay. Now, if we can come down on the website, we see more activity, more things happening here, right? For instance, there's a left sidebar, and this left sidebar has valuable options that are interesting, right? One has a YouTube video. So if I were to click, it would open a YouTube video. Okay. And that way I can watch the intro or see what's going on with them. And that's also good for rank. Okay. And then also there's featured services. In case I'm reading in this section, while I'm reading, I should have quick and easy access to certain things that I would like to see here. And then finally, of course, client testimonials. What someone has to say matters. Okay, so it's very, very good to have this kind of thing laid out. Now, what happens if you just keep reading and hit the bottom of the page? Well, as we go down, guess what? If you haven't exactly figured out what you're doing yet and you're just still exploring, well, we close the page off with things that are important. Whatever it is that we wanted to do for cities we serve, whatever it is that we want to do for our services, we have this stuff here for you to go and find yourself very, very quickly. Now, this is excellent. So it helps cause those conversions after all right, because these are clickable. They take you wherever it is that you need to go. Okay, that's very powerful. So do you understand the purpose of a convertible website? Now, here are statistics that go along with this. The normal web page, a typical web page out there, has about an 85% bounce rate. That means out of 100 visitors that you get to your website very often, only 15 stay. 85 bounce back off the front page without ever clicking anything. Okay, Google notices that. So if you have 100 visitors and no one clicks on anything hardly, they just leave. What does that mean? That means that people couldn't really find themselves. They couldn't see themselves in your message. They didn't know what to click on next. It was just maybe like a bulletin board of options all spread out. They didn't see what to do, and so they just simply left. They didn't know if you did what they needed. They didn't want to read more. And that is the thing. Even in the case of convertibility, these messages that pop up in the banner sliders help you convert. The fact that you could click a link here helps you convert. Even the testimonials section, being able to click on more testimonials, even this box is doing the job of getting you to convert. Okay, to convert to the next action. The purpose of the box is to get you to click the link if you want to continue in this direction. You see? So that is incredibly valuable. Let me show you a different way to arrange this sort of work. Okay? What if, and let's take a look at something else. Here's another example. You'll notice that the templates are similar because of the research we've done on templates. People put lots of money into templates like these, sometimes $25,000 into major productions that use the same concept, the concept of the banner slider, the concept of these images, the concept of being able to either reach somebody or not by phone or by email. We could put an email form here instead of images so that the email is immediately available. Just depends on what you would like. It's very easy. Now, here in this case, what's a little different about it? Well, first of all, it's a website aimed at fitness and aimed more at a target market that's older. So we see this sort of older folk reaction, which is great. I mean, that's the idea. Old school folks, get yourselves a new body. And that's excellent. That's the arrangement of the banner sliders we put in, the order they go in. But we don't want to lose anyone else. And so we do have filler images showing younger people as well, but people who might consider themselves older school, new body. Okay, excellent. Now take a look. It opens with this, exercise less. That is a curiosity tactic. That might catch my attention. I may click on it purely to see what it has to say. And see how we don't have menu links here? We just have the home. That's because we are trying to get attention diverted to certain convertible actions that we would like. And see how well it's spelled out here? Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, and Step 4. So I know where I should start and I know where I should go next. Now that's excellent. That's a great way of creating a funnel process of getting people in and going through the motions we need to get them into our funnel and get them content, get them realizing what's going on. Now let's continue looking at this. Regaining fitness at any age. Again, we can find out more by clicking here. This has a conversion action attached to it. Okay. And if we go reading the page and we get to the bottom, guess what else it does? It has a next page concept here that tells us exactly what we should do now that we got to the bottom of the page and we're wondering what to do next. And we can continue. Or again, if we want to just really lock in where we should be and what we should do, guess what? Starts at the beginning. It even has a step 5 that's introduced after step 4. You know, it might be reading here or here. If I hit next page, there you go. Step 1. And it's a short page. It's just enough for me to want to read because it's got a really good point. Okay. And by reading it, I'll learn something. And then, heck, I may as well click the next page to see what it has to say. And guess what? There you go. Another short page. Do you see what makes this convertible? The act of clicking on additional pages is going to be good for rank, especially when you take Google Analytics coding. If you don't know anything about that, we can do that for you. And you put the Google Analytics coding into all of your pages. Okay, that way Google flatly knows how much traffic you're getting, where they're going, what they're reading, and Google realizes how trafficked your website really is. All right, now let me come back to the point. That is the idea of a high conversion website. Okay, there are so many, and we can do them in such entirely different ways. But again, we stick with this template format because it's already proven to do very well. When you talk to a lot of website designers, they need to bring work in-house and they have a lot of people to feed, so they have to tell you you have to get a very expensive website, $8,000 website or more. And when you do, they will do anything you want. You know, the more you are imaginative and say, oh, well, can we do this? Can we put that over there? Can we attach one of these? Can we stick a green shimmering thing in the background? The more you're imaginative, then the more man hours are going to go into the creation of your website. And that's exactly what's going to drive the expense of the website straight up in the air. What we did was say this: if you work with us, we can work with you better. You don't need to ask us, can we move things around? These things are already in the right place. They work already to get those high conversions. Moving, for instance, moving the sidebar from this side to this will not improve anything. So it's already been shown that that doesn't relate. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, let's not take your money for useless steps. Okay, so we don't. We streamline the work so that we get the right result the first time around. Okay. Now, what's absolutely enjoyable about that is this. We have 36 individuals right now who create these sites. All right. The person who does the logo only does logos. That's it. That's all they do. And there's actually 2 people there because there has to be somebody working with someone else to ensure that they both agree on the output. They have to both agree that the output's good. So that's 2 experts working together on that. We have the same thing for everything that happens on the site. There's people working in teams of 2 and they have to completely agree on the output. That's what they are graded by us on. That's what we hold them in place for. So everyone who does anything on your site, all of the individual steps we've defined that have to be done are covered by people who are very good at those particular aspects. All right. And it comes right down to everything, including SEO. Now, there you go. There's that. So you're actually getting 36 people to drop what they're doing and focus specifically on your website when you get a run from us. Okay. Now, the other point I want to make is something called website expansion. If I were to come back and look at one of these links here, like for instance, let's try our old school new body, or let's try our pest control. Here's the point. Not only do we create the front end website, which is about a 10 to 15 page website, just depending on the links involved. Okay. Not only do we do that, but we make the website massive. We make a web page for every keyword you need so that Google's going to wind up seeing a massive cloud, an authority cloud, or I'm sorry, a tag cloud of keywords to use that's based on your what's going to be an authority website because you're going to have a page for every keyword that relates to you. So Google can consider your site an authority website because it has a page for every major keyword you need. Okay, and that's powerful. And I can give you examples of that by showing you, say, a sitemap. Now, like I said, it looks like a 15-page website. But if you go to any of our sitemaps, you might see master sitemaps that dive in deeper. And when you're looking at those, there's substructured groups of links, which is perfect for the Google bots to come through and see. The Google bots do not want to see 1,000 links on a single page. They want to see subsets hierarchically, and that's what we do. We have all of our pest control at home links are organized into a pest control at home sitemap. All of our pest control expert links are located there. Everything is spread to exactly what it should be, ladybug pest control. And that way we have organization to all of this. And if we go further in, there are certain pages involved in those groups. So there are individual pages in each group. The reality check, when you step back to it, is that this entire website is over 900 pages. And yet, if you were to click any one of these pages and begin taking a look, it will look like your 10 to 15 website. It's at a 15-page website. So nobody realizes that it's that large. Do you see? It's not strange. It's not distracting. It's not weird. It's not odd. No one sees what's going on. And all these links go exactly where you're intending. Why do we create all these pages? Because we are going to make sure that the page titles and the meta descriptions involved in the pages show up for the different keywords we need. A page can only show up for a handful of keywords that it was built for. But when you have a very large website, you have pages for every keyword combination. So this is our second major prong, our second major attribute that lets us outcompete your competitors. Think about it. Higher convertibility means you rank stronger. Google trusts the effects of your site to be better for the visitor because the visitor seems more interested in your site. And you're going to show up for a lot more keyword combinations, so the net is cast much more widely out there. So all of your potential clients, your prospects, kind of like fish swimming in the great big ocean of the internet, any fish swimming in your general direction, you want to capture them. You want to make sure that no matter what they type, they probably see you. And so in order to do that, you have to have a very large authoritative website. And that's our second major attribute to this process. Now, let me show you what that can mean because it's beautiful. A lot of people don't know. The third major attribute that we have is not only do we do this major expansion to make your site as big as it should be, that is, for example, if you're a plumber, and then you probably have 40 major keywords that you need to work with. There's a stack of about 40 that are major plumbing keywords no matter what. Now, if you work in 15 surrounding cities, in other words, you handle clients in 15 total cities that surround you, 15 areas and communities and so forth, well, then that's 15 cities times 40 keywords is a 600-page array of geo-targeted keywords. You should have a page for every single one of those. So if somebody is looking for bathroom faucet repair and they're looking for that in one city, then you should have a page for exactly that for their city because Google's going to catch on to that. Google tends to show local results first. And so this is important to have a page for each of those keywords you need. Now, the great advantage beyond that is this. Every month for a year, we do website promotion on your website as well. And that way we put major projects up on other websites, referral networks that point back in at you. And here's how it winds up looking. If I just scroll down to the image here, here's the difference. Okay, this has everything to do with really hitting ROI. If you just have one website, then and that's it. Everybody else is for competitors. No referral websites for you. No one else talking about you. Then you are just one choice out of all the choices that show up on the front page for whatever the keyword would be. Okay, for any given keyword, you're just one guy because Google's not just going to show you. It wants to show diversity. It will show a link from different websites. You know, a different link for this website and a different link for that website. It'll do that. So the answer is you must have more than one website in order to take up more of the real estate on the page. After all, what if 100 people come to this page, and what if there are 20 things to click on this page? If you're only 1 in 20, then you're only getting about 5% of the total traffic that comes through, all other factors being equal. And if you're in AdWords, you are paying for that. 1,000 clicks could cost you 2,630 if you're paying 263 per click. Okay. Now, after we do our work on you, here's what we're gradually building up over the course of a year. And this will help you visually understand the difference. Okay. So we're going to put promotion works on one website, promotion on another, promotion on another, promotion on another, promotion on another all year long for you. We're going to build it up, build it up, build it up. It should be built up carefully. A month between each run. We can't just do all the websites all at the same time for the best effect. Okay, it's a gradual rollout and it's done on purpose. Okay, because we have been at this game for 6 years and we know you should do it this way. All right, now think about it. Because we're going for organic results, all clicks on the link are free. There is no cost per click. Now let me explain it this way because in case you forgot, now if you own half the page and 100 people come to this keyword in whatever period of time, you could get half the clicks. You could get more. All right. So instead of getting 5% of the clicks, we're getting maybe 10 times that, maybe 50% of the clicks. Because what do? We shoved our competitors to page 2 and we took up their slots on page 1. All right. We did it for keyword after keyword after keyword after keyword after keyword. So what are the 3 things at play here? What happens if you take up half the page? It's 10 times as much on 10 times as many keywords as 100 times the cover with 4 times the average conversion. Our websites have a conversion rate or a convertibility rate. Our bounce rate is not 85%, it's about 40%, which means that about 60 out of 100 people will click on something more before they leave, at least. Okay, that means 4 times the staying power of the average site, okay, and we're putting it on 10 times as many keywords, 100 times probably, as you would be getting right now, okay, and we're doing that and we're taking up as much as we can, even 10 times as much strength on the front pages of so many of these keywords as we can get. Okay. Now, how does that look when it comes down to it? Let me just show you an example. This is a sample results file from a run we did years ago. And what I want to indicate with this run we did years ago, because it's very, very old now, is exactly something interesting, and that's called staying power. Okay, how many of you have heard of algorithmic updates taking down websites? Well, again, we've been at this 6 years and we're very good at what we do. Take a look at this. One keyword, we have 3 front page spots. Okay, another keyword, 3 front page spots. Okay, another keyword. And this goes on and on and on and on. From one project we did for one company, and we did this 3 years ago. Not all these results are still up, but many of them are. A lot of staying power, and that's valuable. Most of the time when a website company does a job for you of marketing, it lasts for a handful of months, and then it drops off, and you got to go back to them. In our case, you have a lot more staying power, and especially because the convertibility of your site will hold you up on the front page of many results. Now take a look at this list. Let me just kind of scroll down and give you a clue. One job for one guy, various cities. You can see the different cities and the different terms that we have canvassed with a wide, wide net to make sure we had a page for everything somebody could think to click on. And I'll just kind of scroll down quicker by now. Okay, we're talking about 600 and some odd results. Okay, front page results. That's massive. And where you're seeing things like 13 here, that was still on the front page. It was just down below Google Places. At the time we did this particular bit of research and scraped the results for all these keywords, we were not distinguishing between Google Places and other results. But anyway, I think you get the point. Okay, this is a very big deal. All right. Now, what do I want to say next? Because if I haven't caught your attention yet, let me tell you more, and that's this. But first, let me just show you an example. When you show up on Google, here we go. Here's a keyword. Again, a run done over 2 years ago is still 1 in 2 out of 130,000 for one keyword. Okay. For another keyword, we're still in here somewhere. Okay. There we go. We got a result here on the front page over 2 years later out of 3 million results without having done anything in those years. We've not even tried to come back and improve on that run. Okay. Here we go. Another keyword. Okay. And whatever, we got a result right here. Okay. And again, this is after years. All right. Now, let's talk about how big we can do. Take a look at this. There is a command on Google called cite colon. If you type it in and then you type in a website name right after that, all is one word, cite colon, and then the website name. Okay. You're going to see however many results you see from the website. And when you take the filter off, I had a filter because I was searching for something particular in there, in that list, then you are looking at all the results that they have online. So let me give you an example here. This is Shutters and Blinds, a website for that. 4,410 pages on their website. Why did we put so many on the website? Because it needed that many to cover their entire catalog of items. Okay, so there's a page for everything that they have. There's the main pages on their site. For instance, let me just show you. You'll recognize the layout again. Let's not make changes to it. It already works the way it is, so we're not going to waste money on it. That's the point. Okay, and so here's their website, and it's got everything we want. If you have a YouTube video or something, we can put it in. We can even put it in the main section of the page where it makes sense. Whatever improves the convertibility. Now the fun is coming back and taking a look at another page. What do we have? Certain state. Let's go deeper, right? See what we see. Okay, we've got, modern window shades, Lighthouse Point, Florida. There's going to be a modern window shades page for every city surrounding that. Okay, Swag window treatments apparently is a particular brand name that was involved when we put this run together for Lighthouse Point. It's going to be for every other city in Florida where it applies. Okay, Shutters, Window, Deerfield. Again, this acts like a massive tag cloud of keyword combinations and geo-target combinations so that Google knows what we're about, how far we go, and what it can show us up for. This is extremely important. Okay, now let me show you one other thing. If I were to show you the Brisbane website again, here's a question I get all the time. Are these websites mobile ready? Well, here, let me just show you this. And yes, they are. And you can check them out on your own phone if you want. But what you're going to see is what you think on a large screen, on a smaller screen, on a still smaller screen, and on a very small, well, like a phone, you're going to find that our websites look great because we did build them for mobile ready action. Okay, so you are getting massive promotion, massive spread across massive keyword stacks, everything related to you. Okay, with a high conversion template, and we can embed your Google Analytics if you have it. I would recommend that. It's free. Go get an account at google.com, get an account, and then go to google.com/analytics and see what they have to offer. Get that code, and we'll put it in your website. Okay, this is huge. Now, just when you think I'm convinced, even if you're not, we have way more for you. Two massive attributes that we haven't covered yet. So far, we've covered three: the convertible website, the expansion run to cover a keyword or a page for every keyword or geo-targeted keyword that you need, and promotions. Every year, we're going to do the full run on a new referral website for you every month for a year. Okay, so you're going to wind up with 12,000 perhaps. If you have a 1,000-page run, fills out your site fully, you're going to wind up with a 12,000-page stack also promoting you by the end of a year. Okay, it's just going to build up over a year. That's huge. It doesn't, for those who are wondering, some people have literally asked, are they allowed to promote other ways? It's like, can I go put my website in certain directories where I know traffic comes? The answer is yes, of course. You can absolutely do that. Nothing we do is going to stop you from doing anything. If you want to embed new certain code snippets in, you let us know. If you want to go promote in a certain directory or on a certain form, go ahead. Absolutely. There's no harm in that. Okay, there is no such thing as too much marketing. Okay, long as it's done right. Okay, now let me step in further just in case you'd say, what else? The answer is an admin panel. Now, this by itself is worth more than the cost of the entire project. You can log into your admin panel, and when you log into your admin panel, you have complete and utter and full control of your website. You can go to your pages, and you can completely go into any page and make verbiage changes. Okay, you can literally add, subtract pages, duplicate them, and put out different things. If you have a webinar going this week, okay, you could come up and you could do something like that. Webinar this week with guest speaker, okay? Guest speaker, or whatever it is that you're doing, Mr. Quick Fox. All right, and you could hyperlink that. You could put a link on that, and it would go to your favorite cloud. Just make it msn.com, for example. Okay, and there you would go. You can save it, go to the front end. It's immediately live. You did not have to pay us to do anything. Okay, so whatever you want to do in your website, I'll just go back so I don't confuse the fellow. Whose website this is. Actually, I just don't need to save the changes. Okay, that's the point. If I come back, okay, just kind of make sure I got it saved right. Yeah. Okay, you can do anything. If you want to make changes to things, you can do them. If you want to deal with testimonials, testimonials happen on the website if you turn the feature on. And if people add a testimonial, which they could do, I'll give you an example. Somebody could go to the testimonials, read them, and they can add one. They can share the experience with their name, email, and you can type these in yourself on behalf of willing people, behalf of people, who've submitted you good feedback and submit it. Okay. Now, if somebody adds it, it will not go live instantly, of course. It will wait for you. It will show up in your list as disabled. And wait for you, and you'll get an email notification. Okay. And you can come in here and click to read, make sure it says what you would like, okay? And then you can choose to enable it or not. And you can update it at that point. Do you see? So you can even edit it in case it gets too wordy and you need to take chunks out that are just too big or something's unclear, you can make it clear, okay? All right, so you have control over everything. Every time that an email comes and goes, okay, it's going to contact you and let you know that somebody emailed, and it's also going to contact the user and thank them for emailing you and let them know that you'll respond shortly. And you can completely edit these things. You can put in the logo you would like by using the icon and browsing the server or uploading a new logo. And you can align the images left to right. You can put borders on them. You can put spacing around them, whatever you would like to do. That's how the entire site is controllable. Okay. So everything in here is controllable, and using advanced features that you can learn about on your own time, you can make as many variations of your website as you like. You can create pages for Christmas specials, holiday specials, say Easter special, uh, Black Friday, different things like that. And you can turn the pages on or off as alternates to your home page. You can duplicate the pages. Okay. And you can flip on and off different pages. That way you can test different things that you would like to see about. All right. That's our fourth attribute. And this by itself does what? Having this control panel, having it with as much control as it gives you, which is everything. If you want to change website theme and colors, you can go change background images, change the coloring of anything, change the coloring and fonts of your H1 tags, H2 tags. You have full control. There's hundreds of fonts here and an infinite variety of colors that you can squeeze through to completely update the way your website looks. You just simply come down here and hit update. You can even save different styles, and it will save all of your settings above, all of them, everything up here, so that you can flip between different style choices anytime you wish, just for the sake of testing different styles, trying hot colors versus cold colors and so forth. Okay, so that's important. And this, again, it protects your investment in a website. Never buy a website again that does not have a control panel. With the left sidebar items, you can flip things on or off. Do you have a YouTube video? Fine, you can flip it on and you can stick your YouTube video in at this link. Okay, and go back. Do you have featured services? That's simple. Just highlight the ones you want. Hold down your control key, highlight the links, and hit update. And then that shows up there. If I were to go back. Okay, if you have client testimonials or Facebook like box, you can do it. Now you can also reorder the items on the page so that they show up in the right order, the order that you prefer them to show up in the left sidebar. Not only that, you can reorder the pages in the menu column so that they show up in whatever order you want. Do you want your Facebook button to be up here by your home page in the menu? Just simply bring it up and hit Save Sorting. Okay, you can do that. You can even do it with the banner items. As a matter of fact, some people are confused by how hard a banner must be to create or control. Let me just show you an example. If I were to go home, take a look at this. How many things are at play to make a banner image? Well, there's a title, there's a description, there's verbiage in the link, and it clicks to whichever page from my pages that I want it to click through. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the image itself is 5 things that make the banner work. See it? Want full control? What if you had full control? Click here to get started. It clicks to whichever page I want, and there's an image. That's 5 things happening. Okay, so if I were to come back and look at the banners, again, you can resort them in any order, right? To get the right effect first, let's click. There's our title. Here's our description. Here's the clickable verbiage that we want. Here's the page it's going to point to from our pages. And here's the image we're going to use, which we browsed and either selected from the server or uploaded from our own computer. Okay, so we can absolutely control all of these features very, very easily. So there you go. This allows you complete control over your website, which protects your investment. If for some reason, when we create this project for you and that dart isn't hitting the dartboard right smack in the bullseye, if it's missing by an inch or 2 or 3, you can come in here and you can make adjustments to lock in those sales, to improve your convertibility, to make sure your message is the best. If your competitor comes on next week and offers 10% off a certain bundle, you can immediately reciprocate and offer 10 or 15% off this week on your own page immediately. Okay? And that's the advantage. You can test bundles and things without having to pay every time to do it. Most people should be putting new content out, putting out new offers, testing new bundles, throwing out new specials pretty consistently. It's a really good idea to do. Have a different special every week. Okay. But the reason they don't do it is because they'd have to pay the website designer every week and they can't afford it. That means only the big guys win, the biggest competitors who can afford it and do it. Well, if you have a control panel, you can keep up very easily. Anybody can come in here and throw up the notes about the specials. It's not hard. Okay. So there's that. Now, one more thing I want to make a point about, and this is extremely important. You have the last major feature is export project. When you click that, whatever you did with your website, you can make a version of it for someone else. You can make it for a reseller, an affiliate. You can make it for a partner. So you can give them a copy of your website free so they can go promote it on their own website and put their own, whatever, their own PayPal buttons, their own credit card option. They can collect payments at retail at a higher price and then send those payments to you at wholesale for your price. And that way they can earn by promoting you actively, by actively promoting you. Guys who go to trade shows, set them up with a website so that they can take orders there at the trade show. They can hand out cards with their website. People can go to their website and place the orders, okay? Without knowing you exist because you use a different logo for them maybe. In other words, you can create variations and save them. You can download yours, upload another one, download that one, upload another one, make some versions real quick, and then go back to the default, which is your own, okay, and just have it running. And that way, you can make copies for resellers or just anyone outside of your range of competition. This pest control site is very, very nice. Most any pet control company might want a copy of this, and they may pay me $3,500 for it. They might be willing. Okay, so you can make them a copy and export it and give it to them, which again, no website designer is going to give you, right, that functionality to do that. Okay, because then they can't make money on selling you that option, right? They would rather you pay them and then they'll just create a version cheaper. Okay, and so if you want 3 of those, then they'll charge you, 50% off times 3. Well, here you can just do it for yourself. You don't even need them. And what can you do? You can export it as a zip file, and that's like Bob's site, and you just simply export it, and it gives you the zip file with everything, and you send it to them in an email, and they upload it, or they pay their web designer to upload it. Or what else could you do? If you have FTP information, you could put it up on their website just directly. As a matter of fact, let me show you. I've got one over here called find-locally.com. Let me highlight that, I guess. Come back, make the point. Okay. I could go there. Let me just take the extra stuff out. Really, just should be find-locally.com. Okay. And let me get the information so I can show you what this looks like. Okay. Here we go. And password. And that's because somebody gave me the information for the cPanel logon, or the FTP information, which is really all I needed. Now here's my point. If I go there and refresh the page, there's just nothing here. Okay. I'm going to pretend there's a new website. Okay. Now let's connect. Okay. I connected to it from my website. Okay. My website connected to a whole different website way over there. And I am connecting to this folder. And now I'm going to upload the project. Yes, I'm going to upload it. And let's see what happens. Okay, literally seconds later, it's uploaded everything necessary to make that website happen. Okay, and if we go look, we just refresh. Okay, the entire website up and ready with whatever changes I would have made. I would have had the different phone number for the reseller, something like that. Whatever it is, right? There you go. That's how easy that is. So this copy got made for whoever, you know. How's that for powerful? So all you need is the main website set up for you and an understanding of how to use your panel. And we do your promotion work and expand you and make your website large for you while you go off and make money with that. And you can also have a whole secondary income stream of selling copies of a great website that works for you to other people who are outside of your competitive area, who are in no way your competitor. They're way over there. And so, since they're way over there, why can't you make money from them too by offering them something that's great and works for you? Isn't that a good idea? It's a whole second income stream that could grow to be even larger than your main income stream. It's possible, especially if you have resellers helping you do it and you paid some sort of a finder's fee to your resellers for finding other guys and bringing them your way for a copy of your website. How's that for awesome? All right, how much should all of this cost? If I'm just going to ask, and I can log out of my MM panel, I'm done here. Well, it depends. It depends on how many man hours go into it. It depends on how much work it took to make it great for you, make it highly convertible. And some people say, how many pages is spammy? And the answer is, it's not the number of pages. It's having too many pages for any one keyword. Then those pages wind up competing with each other for the same slot algorithmically. And that's what you're paying us to do. Knowing how to do that, making it happen for you, and putting the promotions out to get you canvassed over many keywords, many spots on the front page, not one, many, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, keyword after keyword after keyword after keyword. Okay? That's huge. So anything like that, sites like that could run anywhere from $400 to $10,000 a pop just for simple custom design websites. And we're obviously not in the $400 bracket. There's just too many experts. There's 36 experts, and it takes a lot of time to get your website right. But it's a very good way to do a website for you. Complex sites tend to run $10,000 to $25,000. Okay, very large websites are running in that range, and we're not. Okay, so you're going to be very happy with what you have. Just getting a custom control panel that has all of these features on a convertible website, usually the control panel itself is $6,000, $8,000. Okay, and so you can come and read about our package here, Rank Omega, see what we offer, see what we're offering it to you for, and you can decide to contact us. As a matter of fact, the number and the information is right here on the page if you got questions. Okay, so go ahead and call. More than welcome. If you'd like to see a demo, go ahead and call. We're more than happy to schedule a demo with you. Just call and say, I'd like to see a demo, even if you leave a voicemail. We'll get a hold of you and we'll schedule that demo, show you how it works, show you how easy it is for your assistant or secretary or whomever to make changes, general changes inside your website for you. I think you're really going to be impressed. You're going to be impressed with the cost and the power it gives you. So just to recap, a highly convertible template, expand it out for every keyword you need, times a bunch of websites so that they can all show up on the front page. And you get a control panel, which protects your investment, and the ability to export copies of your website for anyone else. And all that is for a single one-time payment. So come check us out, get a hold of us, ask for a demo, and we'll talk. Okay, thank you very much for your time and attention. It's been great presenting this to you, and I hope to hear from you soon. This is Dave. Get a hold of me whenever you're ready. Okay.